Hi guys and welcome to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be doing another murder case. This case is solved but it's just really interesting. So this is the murder of Dee Dee Blancharde. I'm not too sure if I'm pronouncing her name right, but she was a good parent. She was a single mum and she was looking after her daughter who was seriously ill. But before Dee Dee was murdered, she was living in a bungalow in Springfield, Miss Ari. I don't know how to pronounce that way, but that's where she was living. The neighbours stated how nice Dee Dee was to her child Gypsy, which was her ill daughter, and it was very hard to forget Dee Dee because of how generous she was with her time and with her money. Dee Dee did not have a full-time job, and instead of having a full-time job, she was looking after her ill daughter Gypsy. Gypsy was tiny. She was around 5 feet tall and she was confined to a wheelchair. She also had feeding tubes in, like up her nose and she looked severely ill. Sometimes her mum, Dee Dee, used to have to drag a gas tank around with her. If anyone was to ask about Gypsy's illnesses, Dee Dee used to give her a long list of diagnoses. So I'm just going to read these ones out because I can't remember them off the top of my head, and it's also, I don't know if I can pronounce them. Diagnosis Dee Dee would give to people was chromosomes defects, muscle dystonia, epilepsy, severe asthma, sleep apnea, eye problems, that she had leukemia when she was a kid. Gypsy was very kind, very talkative to people, but she resembled a small child around about 7 years old, like she used to speak really high pitch.
And I always said, you're the reason I was born to be your mama.
And she was just dead. I wouldn't say immature, but like she resembled a toddler basically. Like her speech, the way she acts. Dee Dee, her mum, used to constantly remind people that Gypsy was brain damaged and that she had the brain of a 7 years old. So both Dee Dee and Gypsy was Hurricane Katrina survivors. So when Hurricane Katrina came, it wiped out the whole house. So it was funded by a company to build another house, and the house had like ramps, obviously for Gypsy's wheelchair. It also had hot tubs for a hot tub for Gypsy's muscle problem.
My mom had gave me this little glass house and she said, one day this will be real. And now it finally is.
It's so easy to live here, and it's so peaceful.
The two were interviewed after Habitat for Humanity built them a handicapped accessible home because of Gypsy's disabilities. They said she was confined to a wheelchair.
We have an awesome bathtub. It's a jacuzzi tub meant for my muscles.
Both of them had support of the community as, like I said, Dee Dee was a single mum. And with all the medication bills for Gypsy, it was hard. So that's why she got help from this community. Some of the neighbours used to drive Dee Dee and Gypsy to local hospitals, the airport, as they might needed to go to a hospital outside their state, and they would also pay for any medication they couldn't afford or food if they were struggling. So in 2013, Gypsy decided that she wanted a boyfriend or someone to talk to, so she created a page on ChristianDatingForFree.com. There she received a message of this boy called Nicholas Goodman. He thought Gypsy was pure, really nice, funny, but Gypsy was scared to tell him about her being confined to a wheelchair. However, when she did finally tell him, he was alright with it. It didn't really bother him. Gypsy and Nick met in 2015 for a screening of the new Cinderella movie. However, Dee Dee, Gypsy's mum, did go to the cinema with her to meet Nicholas, and Nicholas and Gypsy both snuck off to the bathroom, obviously to do whatever they wanted. But when Gypsy got back, Dee Dee was furious with her and made Gypsy promise that she would never meet up or speak to Nicholas ever again. So I'm just going to read this one out because it's too hard for me to remember. So on the 14th of June 2015, Dee Dee and Gypsy's Facebook status was changed to "That bitch is dead." In the comment section it read, "I fucking slashed that fat pig and raped her sweet innocent daughter," which is disgusting. Ugh. Her scream was so fucking loud, lol. Dee Dee was found murdered in her pink bedroom. The duvet piled on the body as if it was to hide from the view. So after the Cinderella movie, Gypsy was fed up of how her mum was controlling her, how she wasn't like a best friend anymore. She was more of a controlling parent who didn't let her do anything. Gypsy felt weak and hopeless, so she decided to ask Nicholas if she would murder her mum for her. Dee Dee's murder was graphic, gory. Gypsy said that Nicholas entered the house and that Gypsy passed him blue gloves and a large knife. So after Nick killed Dee Dee, Gypsy and Nick both fled to Wisconsin to go back to Nick's parents' house. From there, they both started to plan what they was going to do with the rest of their lives, where they was going to go, how to cover up the murder of Dee Dee. However, both of them was scared that Dee Dee's body was going to rot. So Gypsy thought it was best to write a confession on Dee Dee's Facebook about killing Dee Dee, so someone would find the body. So when I was reading them statuses out about how I raped her sweet innocent daughter, that was actually Gypsy, which is sick. I don't know anything to explain it. It was just disgusting, sick. Why would you even joke about being raped? Gypsy hoped that the police would just assume that it was a random Facebook page and that she couldn't be tracked from it, which is weird, but the police tracked the IP address and it led to Nick's parents' house. So when Gypsy first got caught by the police, she started to deny any involvement with her death.
Hey Gypsy, is it Stan? Hi Gypsy, let you guys talk. I'm Detective Hancock. I'm from the Kent Sheriff's Office. What happened with your mom that night?
Think that it's me? Why would you think that it's me? I have always loved my mom. My mom and I are best friends.
Listen to me. I have no doubt that you love your mom. But why did Nick hurt her?
However, later that day, she did confess to the murder or second-degree murder of Dee Dee Blancharde. I think that's how you say her name. So, Gypsy is actually 24 years old and doesn't have any problems with her health. She hasn't got, she didn't have leukemia as a kid, she didn't have any severe asthma, she wasn't confined to a wheelchair, she didn't have any of the problems Dee Dee said that she had. Dee Dee would give her medication which wasn't prescribed to her. She didn't go to hospital to get all these diagnoses. Basically, Dee Dee used to self-medicate Gypsy, didn't have brain damage. Dee Dee gave lists of diagnoses to her neighbours, her friends, but Gypsy didn't have any of that. All she had was epilepsy and some mental health problems, probably because Dee Dee messed her up as a kid. And Dee Dee didn't have any involvement with any of her family because she ran away from her family basically and never got into contact with them after. So Gypsy is actually in prison now. Like I said, she admitted to the second-degree murder of Dee Dee Blancharde. She has been clean from any mental health problems, so she's not in an infirmary anymore. I think that's the word, not too sure, like rehab. So she's currently in jail and her parole is in 2024. So that's the end of the video, guys. What do you think should happen? Do you think Gypsy was right to be put into jail for that long? Do you think she should be out of jail? Do you think she should be eligible for parole now? Like I said, it was a weird story. I thought it was just a murder. What happened to her mum? Turns out her daughter was involved in her murder. Her mum was lying about all the illnesses she had Gypsy was forced to go along with these illnesses as her mum used to beat her. Thanks for watching guys, please like the video and subscribe.